move on to the next agenda item in our application. This is the City of Brunswick Municipal Public Access Plan. The planning board is considering the Municipal Public Access Plan for adoption as an official component of the Parks, Recreation, and Open Space element of the master plan.
Mr. Chair, I was approached recently this week from Ms. Heather Fennick. I believe she had some involvement in the development of this municipal access plan, far more than I had, and I think possibly even more than Glenn and Mark did. So with your permission, I would like to yield the floor to her to present on behalf of the plan, which I guess I can swear her in. Happy to present?
Yeah, makes sense.
Mr. Chairman, I'll turn this over to the record to reflect that now you join the board.
Welcome back.
Please take your name, spell your last name.
Heather Bennett, last name spelled Frank, E-N-Y-K.
You swear to affirm to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
With your permission?
Great. So, Heather Bennett, I'm a longtime member of the Brunswick Environmental Commission. So long, in fact, that I've been working on this particular project since 2013. The Municipal Public Access Plan grant writing effort kicked off then. It was sort of a one-two punch in association with something called a coastal vulnerability assessment, which I believe you all have reviewed in years prior. So basically what we sought to do as an environmental commission was to get more information about our waterways, both in terms of preparing for resilience activities and to deal with potential flood issues, but also to gain more information, a better understanding about public access opportunities to our public right, our public waterway. So in 2013, we started grant writing and submitted a proposal to the Department of Environmental Protection, and we secured, I don't even know how much it was, somewhere around $50,000 to develop these two reports. The CBA was a process that completed with a number of staff and municipal staff at the table to really rally information that can then go into a public document for FEMA, for floodplain purposes, which will give the City of New Brunswick points or credits for in FEMA's good graces if we are to have to deal with flooding issues. And then also the Municipal Public Access Plan, which again, this is, so the public's right to access tidal waters and their shorelines is a concept that's existed since Roman times. So the New Jersey Coastal Zone Management Rules Public Trust Rights say that public trust rights to tidal waters and their shores established by the public trust doctrine include public access, which is the ability of the public to pass physically and visually to, from, and along lands and waters subject to public trust rights as defined at NJAC 7:7E-3.50, and to use these lands and waters for activities such as swimming, sunbathing, fishing, surfing, sport diving, bird watching, walking, and boating. Public trust rights also include the right to perpendicular and linear access. Public access ways and public access areas provide a means for the public to pass along and use lands and waters subject to public trust rights. So that's really the opportunity that we were responding to, and as the New Brunswick waterfront is a coastal waterfront, the DEP was availing all coastal communities of monies to develop this access plan to encourage access to the public right of waterway. So we started things off in 2014, as I said, with a coastal vulnerability assessment, and also with developing this access plan, which includes analysis of water bodies in the town, including tidal waters, all our public access points, and the public access points with handicapped accessibility. And then for all of those access points, we cataloged the amenities at those sites and evaluated those with an eye toward whether they were sufficient to really guide folks to what in many ways is kind of a hidden water body. With Route 18, it separates us from this public right. So we developed this public access plan. It has been approved and vetted by the State Department of Environmental Protection. That happened in 2016. It sat on their desk for about 6 or 8 months. It came back to us in 2017, ready to go and be approved by you, and we've been waiting to get on the agenda until now to present this in front of you all. So again, what this public access plan does is catalogs the amenities that would encourage folks or give guidance to folks to our public right of our waterway, and make suggestions as to additional amenities that can facilitate access both for able-bodied and for ADA accessible purposes. And this includes also recommendations around signage and additional amenities. So I really would encourage you to adopt this as part of the open space plan. And I'm happy to answer questions. You've had it on your desks for a couple of years, so maybe you got it 2 years ago and read it at that point, so it's not so fresh in your minds. But it is a valuable document, particularly in light of the recent referendum to approve open space funding in New Brunswick, and a more concerted effort at the municipal level to think about connectivity, and connectivity to what? Really our most valuable open space is our riverine waterways. So, like I said, I'm happy to answer questions, and I can also provide some of this language to you for the minutes if you'd like.
That would be helpful, but.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Will approval of this plan make the city eligible or potentially eligible for funding for these?
Absolutely, yeah.
To gain access?
It will. So it prioritizes the municipality for funding through DEP. I should have mentioned that if we do not approve this, so this was entered into with the assumption that it would be approved. So that was the agreement that the city entered into with the DEP in 2013, 2014. And if this is not approved, then we have to repay some of the grant monies. So that's another component of this. So, and this was developed with the planners at the table. The mayor has had a chance to review this, and with other folks from municipal staff providing oversight and review.
And this was part of the environmental commission?
Yeah, so this was an environmental commission initiative, and really again as part of a big picture story around connectivity. So we pushed in addition for the municipal public access plan. Subsequent to that, we pushed for creation of the Parks and Gardens Commission. We pushed for things like the Open Space Trust Fund. So it's part of the big picture around improving environmental conditions for health and wellness of the community, just in terms of environmental beauty, but also access. It's one thing to have a beautiful environment. It's another thing too to make sure that everyone has access to it as their right. So
This plan,
yeah.
once it's approved, becomes incorporated into the master plan?
It does, yeah. So my understanding is, I see here that you are going to incorporate it into the parks, recreation, and open space element of the master plan. And I think every municipality does it a little bit differently, but that's what the planner, Glenn Patterson, had suggested for this.
Is this a recommendation from this board to the council for
Yes.
approval?
No, the master plan doesn't.
This is an amendment to the master plan?
Yes,
Right.
right, so this is it, right, isn't it?
Okay. The recommendation's been made by council that you folks approve
Yes.
the amendment to the master plan.
And I don't know what date the council made that recommendation, but, or I'm sorry, what the,
Dan, do you know when it was referred to?
No, I don't know offhand.
yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is an important step and milestone. I know we've been working at this for a long time, and it's great to see this document finalized and put forward to the planning board. And I personally agree that this is an important element for us to insert into our strategic vision for the city and how we access the public elements of our community.
Thank you.
Champion. Any other comments, questions for Heather? Any public comment? Questions?
Actually, I had a comment, although I don't know if it's really within the plan or more an operational type of thing. But I know currently,
Do you want to just say your
You have to,
oh yes,
yeah, state your name, spell your last name.
Scott Brody, Brody.
You swear or affirm to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You may proceed.
Yeah, so currently there's one of the components of the plan which it talks about is there's the kind of the trailway that's parallel to Route 18, the trench. And my only main comment was that there was a time when I was new to this area, I basically got stuck in the trench because for security reasons they've locked doors along it, but you can still enter it and there's no way of realizing it. So I guess the question is if they're locking the doors for security, then either why is it that you can get stuck in, or maybe they should think of a way to like change the door so that the ones that are locked you can exit the trailway if you need to, or if someone was following you. Or
Yeah, that seems like a logical conclusion. And I think, Heather, if you want to address it, but I think that we're calling to enhance that area.
Right, yeah, so there are some small scale suggestions in here for enhancement, but there is also really a request that a larger scale, a closer consideration of landscape changes there be pushed forward. So simply just opening up some of those thoroughfares for ongoing access could make a big difference. Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
Thanks for your question. Please.
Since you're asking for public comments, I am a member of the public. So my name is Howard Swerdloff, SWERDLOFF, and I'm a homeowner.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes. I'm a homeowner in New Brunswick and a member of the New Brunswick Environmental Commission, and I teach at Rutgers, and I just want to speak in support of this exciting moment. The plan is, I just read it as we were talking about Aaron and Company's signage.
That's no
As much
comment.
as I love Aaron and Company, especially my wife, this is really an exciting plan. It talks about all of these wonderful resources, underutilized resources that we have in New Brunswick, that if we can accomplish the vision that's in that plan, I think this can make this even a better place to live. And I just wanted to speak in favor of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And this, New Brunswick is the furthest inland community to have a municipal public access plan, which from a strategic point of view, in terms of dollars from NJDP, if they should come to us, could be a great sort of leveraging tool for connectivity for other pathways. It could connect us to the East Coast Greenway, the DNR Canal. What you folks haven't seen quite yet, but we understand that there's grant money moving toward approval for a missing link bridge over the spillway. This would all integrate into this. So, great. Thanks.
Any other public comment? Any discussion? Can we have a motion to amend the master plan to include the municipal public access plan?
I motion to amend the master plan to include the plan as discussed.
Second.
Billy Pacheco?
Yes.
Suzanne Ludwig?
Yes.
Christelle Teller?
Yes.
Ryan Berger?
Yes.
Manuel Castaneda?
Yes.
Bob Cardica?
Yes.
Jeff Crum?
Yes. Thank you to everyone who worked so hard on this.
Yes.
Yeah.